it's not on their radar. They haven't been trained in it.
Yeah.
It's not their field.
Hmm.
And so I wouldn't expect them to know about it. They're busy, working with serious organic situations. Okay, another example would be an athlete who she was an Olympic athlete, and she'd been through she couldn't get enough oxygen, and she'd gone to the doctor, and they, same thing, gave her always different prescriptions and everything. And she'd even had her CO2 looked at. She had a colleague of hers who was in her field of healthcare who looked at her carbon dioxide level and said, it's all normal. It doesn't have anything to do with your breathing. Problem was is that person who looked at it doesn't know anything about behavioral science, and that habits are triggered. So what happened is that person wasn't breathing with a dysfunctional habit when her friend looked at her CO2 level, it was normal.
Mm.
But what happens when she eats, when she would eat, she would lose the coordination between the breathing and the eating, not understanding that that's what happened. And she'd get all these symptoms, and she'd be sitting around all day long trying to deal with the symptoms and couldn't go to work. She would miss days of work every week for several years. An Olympic athlete who would work out, every day, and she was in fantastic condition, couldn't get enough oxygen, she said, only to find out, she would go to do her exercise, and she would, at the end of the day, she would do a 2-hour workout, and she'd get all of her breath back. She'd be just fine. But when she was sitting on a couch in her living room, she couldn't get enough air. So she realized there was something strange about that. How could she not get enough air doing nothing and get all the air she wanted when she was exercising? She realized there was something wrong. So she said, I think what I'll do is I'll go, whenever I'll have this problem, I'll go to the gym and the problem will go away. I said, well, what does that tell you? And she said, well, it tells me that somehow I'm breathing differently when I'm at home and when I'm breathing in the gym.
Hmm.
So when she was in the gym, it was a different breathing habit than when she was at home. And so she quickly discovered what she'd learned, what she was doing. In fact, she was practicing a breathing intervention when she was at home that was just making everything worse. She was breathing real slowly, trying to relax, following some kind of protocol, losing carbon dioxide. So when I worked with her, her CO2 level was perfect, and I had her overventilate on purpose, which triggered immediately a sense in her that she has when she can't get enough air, like she was suffocating. And she couldn't believe it. I coached her in the very thing she would do at home to try to resolve the problem. And I coached her in what she does, only for her to discover that this is where the symptoms are coming from.